Why was the so-called samurai killer released on parole after being diagnosed with a serious psychiatric condition? Psychologists and social workers have raised concerns and questioned the parole board's decision. Morne Haramse was sentenced to 20 years in jail for the 2008 murder of a fellow pupil at the Nick Diedrichs Technical High School in Krugersdorp. He was dubbed the samurai killer because he used such a sword in the attack. Barry Bateman reports.
In 2015, while in prison, Morne Haramse was diagnosed with a serious psychiatric condition, and his term in jail has been characterized by violence and self-harm. He was first denied parole in 2019.
My report back then was that he has more of the concerning risk factors than before the incident. A lot of the motivations and issues of why he committed the crime are actually still present now. And that I think my report ended off, if I can quote, Mr. Haram says, if he's released on parole, we will be setting himself up for failure that could have dire lethal consequences for innocent persons and himself. It's highly reckless to release him with his current level of risk.
That assessment has not changed, prompting questions why Haramse has not received specialist care.
If he was diagnosed with a mental illness or personality disorder, whatever it is, he should not have gone to prison in the first place and received kind of treatment in a mental or psychiatric facility or mental health facility. But we know those are overburdened.
This has also raised questions about the parole board.
I think part of the problem is you don't have experts sitting on the panel. There aren't psychologists on the panel, there aren't social workers. What they do is the parole board receives reports from GCS psychologists and social workers, etc., and the parole board interprets those, and the parole board then makes recommendations.
The parole process is very obscure, especially to the public, to members of the public who don't have any legal experience or background. They don't know how it works, and this creates a bit of mistrust because when they see victims, families of victims and loved ones of victims see that the perpetrators are suddenly released, it creates confusion and it creates resentment towards the Departments of Correctional Services.
Correctional Services informed the family of Haramse's victim, Jacques Pretorius, in an email sent 2 weeks ago. The family only participated in one of Haramse's parole hearings. That was in 2019. Correctional Services insists that the appropriate conditions have been imposed on Haramse to facilitate his reintegration into society. Barry Bateman, Johannesburg.